Hello again, it's Callum here with another installment of Budget Blitz. If you're new to this series, we're trying to build the most fun, most competitive Blitz decks that we can without access to the higher rarity cards. So leave those legendaries in the folder and let's get into it. Today, as you can see, we have a Levia deck, and this one, well, it really puts the brute into brutality, as you can see from this art here. Our opponents better watch out, or they might end up like this unfortunate soul up on the wall here. This one today is coming to us courtesy of developer Jason Chung. So let's take a look at it. All right, now just looking straight away here, you can tell that this is a brute deck because boy do we have a lot of 6 or more attack cards. We've got 27 to be precise, which is very important because this deck has a lot of things that care about 6 attack cards. Most importantly, Levia's hero ability, because the other thing that you're going to see is we've got a lot of blood debt cards. This means that once those cards are in the banish zone, they're going to start dealing us damage unless we can satisfy Levia's bloodthirsty demons by making sure that we banish a 6 attack card every turn. What this means from a gameplay perspective is, similarly to the chain deck, you're going to want to start off slow, mostly defending, swinging with your Ravenous Meat Axe in order to stock your graveyard up with a good number of 6 attack cards. Pitch your strong cards like Dread Screamer or Endless Maw, get them in the bottom of your deck for the late game, and then when the time is right, you want to start unleashing this barrage of really powerful attacks. Because once you do start attacking, you really can't afford to take your foot off the gas pedal, because the more you banish, the more damage you're going to take to blood debt if you can't satisfy Levia's hero power. You might be looking at this list and thinking, well, Callum, how am I supposed to defend myself? A quarter of this deck can't even defend. And you're right. There's a lot of cards here like Smash with Big Tree or Deadwood Rumbler or Pulping that don't actually have any defense value, which means you can't defend with them. But there are still ways to use them defensively. Rally the Rearguard is in here not just because it has 6 attack, but because its ability allows you to discard these 0 defense cards and essentially turn them into defend 3s. Of course, you can also just keep them in your hand to attack with them or pitch them for your meat axe. Now, when you do start attacking, your opponent might think to themselves, well, I'm just going to start defending with my whole hand. Eventually, they won't be able to banish the 6 attack card, and they're just going to die to their own blood debt. And that is something that you have to watch out for. So the way to avoid this is to be able to swing in with multiple big attacks in a turn. Now, Dread Screamer is a very important card for this, as is our Hooves of the Shadow Beast, and there's even a cheeky little Time Snap potion in here. All of these cards are just ways of giving you multiple action points in a turn, which allow you to have these really monstrous turns where you're threatening just huge chunks of damage. This is illustrated really well in the Levia Boltyn gameplay video that we did recently, where Jason pretty much beat the crap out of me by doing exactly this. And as much as it pains me, I will swallow my pride and link that video below. Another good way to make sure that your opponent can't just turtle up is by presenting a big dominate attack to finish them off. And you've got a couple of ways of doing that, either with a pulping that you can set up by either using a blood tribute or just stacking your pitch. Or you can use this card here, Convulsions from the Bellows of Hell, which is the winner of the award for best name in a TCG that I've ever played, certainly, and some pretty gory art there too. But this card can give dominate to any of your huge attacks like an Endless Maw or even a Soul Harvest if you've got a stacked enough graveyard. So if you're going to want to upgrade this deck with some Majestics and things like that, some of the higher rarity cards, well, the combination of Shadow of Blasmafet and Deep-Rooted Evil is a pretty powerful one, because the Shadow can put your Deep-Rooted Evil into the banished zone. turning off your Blood Debt for a turn and allowing you to play it either that turn if you have a spare action point or potentially later on. And incidentally, Shadow of Mlasmafet can also put Hell from Beyond into your Banish Zone too. So it's a pretty nice toolbox Majestic if you can get your hands on a couple of those. But as always, this deck is completely fine to play as it is, and it's a really nice way to learn how to set up those big late game turns by tracking what you're pitching. And it contains Smash with Big Tree. I mean, really, what more could you ask for? So give it a whirl, let us know how you do, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Budget Blitz.